Hey, this is Neil. I'm back to do a mask review. This is a mask that I never thought I would ever see happen. An officially licensed Leatherface Part 3 mask. It's only been done one other time. Distortions Unlimited did a release in 1989, 1990 when the film came out. They offered both a face mask and a full head mask like this. But seeing, 28, 29 years later, an officially licensed Part 3 mask be released is pretty cool. This mask comes from Trick or Treat Studios, or TOTs. They purchased the entire Texas Chainsaw Massacre license, okay? And when they did that, they said that they're going to have a mask or two or three from every film based in the series, and then some custom ones. And I believe it was early this year, 2018, they did announce that the Part 3 is going to come out. And then they did release pictures of it. Justin Mabry did the sculpt. Now, when I'm doing this review, I thought about this on how to do it fairly. Because I cannot put this mask up against independent artists, because it's apples to oranges. It's not fair. So I'm comparing this mask to the Distortions Unlimited mask that was released years ago when the film came out. The reason why I'm doing that is because it's an official license against an official license. It is apples to apples. So I'm going to bounce a lot of comparisons between the two and differences in what I like better about this one over the other one and the other one over this one. I'll start out with the sculpt. The sculpt, it's a pretty good sculpt. I'm not sure if it was kind of a time crunch type of deal or rushed. There are a few things on that I noticed, like here by the mouth. Looks like the clay just got smudged with a finger. You can kind of see some fingerprints and everything, which, seeing that in there, I know that this mask was an early pull from the mold, or maybe they're running multiple molds. I'm not quite sure. The thing is, with high production releases like this, they keep pulling molds out of, or masks out of the same mold. Eventually the mold's going to keep breaking down and there's not going to be many fine details left. So it did capture a lot of details, but like I said, the sculpt, I'm not crazy about. It's not really what I like. It is similar to the film. It's just not, again, I can't compare it to independent artists, but I would put this at the bottom tier if it was an independent mask on sculpt and detail wise. But for a production mask, it is pretty good. And keep in mind, it's a full head mask. For the price, it is a very good price for a full head mask with hair, fully painted and everything. Talking about the hair, it's a brown and it's slightly curly. It is a little bit layered, and I believe if a guy really spent some time and layered it, straightened it in places, you could have a very, very close to the film look on this mask. Okay, but it would take some time, and I'm not a beautician or anything, so I'm not going to take that up. I just pulled this out of the bag, which is one of my biggest gripes, and every mask collector's gripe about TOTs. They ship their masks in a flat bubble mailer. Guys, stop doing that. I mean, 50 cents extra, you can have a box and send it to the customer and get it there in good shape. This one was all smashed. It took, I'm doing this review about 3 weeks after I received the mask, because I've had to put it on the foam head. I've had to every now and then hit it with a heat gun so it'll kind of loosen up and go back to its normal shape. I've seen TOTS masks in stores that are they're totally just unwearable and unusable garbage because of the way it's shipped. Alright, that's my only biggest complaint about this mask. But back to the actual mask. The hair, great. The Distortions Unlimited masks, when they released those back in 89 and 90, it was kind of a crapshoot. I've seen brown, very few brown, mainly black hair, and then what I would call, what I have in my collection, kind of a salt and pepper. It's black with like gray silver, almost like a witch's hair. I'm not a big fan of it, but hey, it's the way Ed did it back in the day, so you know, Ed's the man, so go with him. Next up is the paint. It's your basic done in Mexico on an assembly line paint job. There's nothing really special about it. It's pretty much just close to the same colors as what you see in the film that they slap down pretty quick. There's really no shadowing, no details. If a guy was to redo this and repaint it, I think you might have a pretty decent mask in the end. Along with most TOTs, you know, the guys are redoing the new Halloween ones and they're coming out great. My biggest gripe about the paint job on these is the YMCA logo with the heart, or I think it's supposed to be the rose tattoo. There's nothing rosy about it, and there's really nothing tattoo-y about it. It's just they cut out a YMCA symbol, painted it with green, and then a heart, and painted it in red. He looks more like a prison gang member than Leatherface from the film. So that's almost laughable when I saw that. But the red, the blood splashed on the face, pretty close to where it was on the film. Not super detailed, like I said. The sculpt, they sculpted in the stitching on the actual face part. Now down on the neck, they did actually put real, it's not real leather, it's pleather, the polyester leather or whatever. They did actually stitch that through. So they did take a little bit of time to do that by hand, which was surprising to see. But overall, for the price, you could pick one of these masks up and send it to an independent artist and have him kind of revamp it. And honestly, it's going to look better than what TOTs has pictured on their website, because this is pretty close to what they represented. I mean, it's not exact, but a guy who really knows Leatherface, really knows Part 3, has made lots of Part 3 masks, paints this up, fixes the hair, you're going to have a pretty killer Part 3 mask. But overall, like I said, for the price, it's a good mask. I was fully expecting to get this and laugh and tear it apart, but like I said, I have to come at it at a different angle than normal. Alright, if this was an independent artist mask, for the price, I'd say I got a good deal. Now, an independent artist ain't going to charge $60 for this type of mask. It's going to be $200, $250 for a full head, full haired, fully painted. If I got this mask and I paid $250, I'd be a little upset, you know, because it's just not that. It's a $60 mask. But compared apples to apples to Distortions Unlimited back in the day, I would give them the edge because their sculpt is a little more detailed, closer to the film. Their paint jobs weren't super close either, like this, but again, we're talking about an assembly line production mask, so you can't get too picky or too into detail because you know what you're getting when you pay for it. But there it is, the TOTs Leatherface Part 3 officially licensed mask review.